Welcome back to Ben's Book Club. Today, we are diving into the book Retire Life Ready. So, this quote right here is from the book's author, James Wrigley, who's an Australian financial advisor. And honestly, it just nails his whole philosophy. He's put together this guide that's all about completely reframing how we think about retirement, moving it from a source of stress to an exciting act of, well, life design. Okay, so that one idea, that's really the heart of the whole book. So let's unpack it. We're going to start with what Wrigley sees as the main problem, something he calls the retirement blind spot. You know, for so many people, when you say the word retirement, what pops into their head? It's this one giant, kind of scary number, right? It feels so far away, so huge, that a lot of us just end up sort of sleepwalking towards it, filled with this vague anxiety, just hoping we'll somehow have enough when the time comes. And that's where Wrigley comes in. He argues that this whole traditional numbers-first way of thinking, it's fundamentally broken. It makes people procrastinate, it makes them scared, because it just feels way too overwhelming. So he proposes a pretty radical shift. And that leads us to the big question. This is the absolute game changer at the heart of the book. Instead of asking, how much money do I need to save, you're forced to ask something totally different. What kind of life do I actually want to live? See? That's the real starting point. It just completely flips the script. You're not just saving to get away from a job anymore. Instead, you're actively building towards a specific exciting life that you actually want. You're moving from a spreadsheet to a vision. I mean, this slide just lays it out so perfectly. It's all about designing the life you want first and then figuring out the financial plan to make it happen. So the big question is, how do you actually do that? Well, the great thing is, the book doesn't just give you this cool idea and leave you hanging. Nope. It lays out a really clear, practical roadmap to make it happen, and it's all broken down into these 3 simple, manageable steps. Okay, so let's see how this builds. It all kicks off with step 1, design your destination. This is where you get really clear and specific about the life you want. Then, once you've got that vision locked in, you move on to step 2, which is all about gathering your building blocks. And this is where the book gets into the nuts and bolts. Wrigley gives you a whole financial toolkit, and it's built specifically for us here in Australia, covering everything from making your super work harder, to smart investing, to planning for those big family responsibilities like aged care. And what this really shows is just how holistic his approach is. It's not just about super or just about investing. It's about getting all the different pieces of your financial life to work together, all pointing towards that vision you created back in step 1, which naturally brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. So, this last part, it's all about closing that gap, right? The gap between where you are today financially and that amazing future life you've designed for yourself. This is where the plan really turns into reality. And here's the key takeaway, the really crucial point. This isn't about making some huge, scary life change overnight. Not at all. The real power here comes from making small, smart, consistent choices over time, which leads to really the most practical question in the whole book. What's one small thing you can actually do this week? So, for just a second, forget that big, scary number. Just ask yourself, what is one simple action, just one, that I can take this week to get started? Because as the book keeps reminding us, the choices you make today are what shape the freedom you're going to have tomorrow. You know, getting life ready isn't something that just happens to you. It's active. It's about taking control, and it literally starts with the very next choice you make. Subscribe so you don't miss an episode.